In this video, we'll talk about the Business Ready Communities program, especially as it relates to how the money flows in business committed projects. The Business Committed program is utilized when a business is looking to expand operations that are already in our state, or it is looking to relocate from another state. In many cases, these projects happen without state involvement because the community has the available business infrastructure to help an organization grow or relocate. But sometimes the community is presented with an opportunity and doesn't have all of the pieces to complete the puzzle. This is one area where the Business Ready Communities program can really help the community and the state. Here's a very high level of how it works, assuming the project gets approved, which we will cover in another video. Let's zoom out a bit and look at the three players. We've got the state, the community, and the business. And then we have the economic development asset that the community would like to fund. In this example, we'll use the construction of a building as the asset. Now we'll also determine the type of funding required. It could be a grant or a loan or even both. Let's take a moment to talk about grants and loans within this program. Of course, loans are pretty straightforward. The state loans the community money and the community repays that loan with interest, and that money is available again in the Business Ready Communities program. However, the grant is a little bit of a misnomer. It's not really a grant in the sense that you give money away and you never see it again. Rather, it goes to the community to build an asset, and that asset is something that can be utilized to generate revenue for the community to be used for economic development activities. So, it doesn't really go away and never comes back. It just doesn't really get repaid like a loan. I think that's an important component. However, let's jump back into the asset. So now the community has an asset that the business can utilize for growth or relocation. The key here is that the business creates new, great jobs for the community, and the community's economy becomes more resilient. And that business pays the community lease payments on that building. The community can utilize that money to maintain the asset as well as fund more economic development activities. At a point in the future, the business can purchase that asset, so that money then goes into the community to be used for economic development activities. And this is where a concept called revenue recapture comes in. A portion of the money that is paid for that asset actually comes back to the state. For the sake of this example, let's use 25% of the revenue from the sale of that asset would then come back to the Business Ready Community program. That too is money that can be used in other communities. So, to recap, 75% of the money from that sale goes to the community for economic development activities, and 25% comes back to the state for use in the Business Ready Communities Fund. Now that we've drawn where all the money goes, I'd like you to take a look at where the arrows point. That's right, the money is all flowing into the state and the community. What that means is that we're keeping all the money in the family. Businesses have the opportunity to relocate and expand. Communities get an asset and resources to begin their own perpetual motion machine for economic development. And the state builds a more resilient economy and replenishes some of the Business Ready Communities funding. This is a win for the business, the community, and the state. Thank you for checking out the basics of how the money flows in a business committed project.